Fish Slap looking for some room in the back of that pack there. Killer Queen for the world. Looks like maybe a star pass occurred there. Yeah, Cherry F-Bomb grabbing a star pass for the world. Fish Slap through, picking up 4 more, 8 so far on the board. Face Bounder in the penalty box, along with 1 skater for the world. That's 1 down for each team on that pack. Fish Slap grabbing 8 more, but Cherry F-Bomb capitalizing on that star pass, putting 4 points on the board. $18 points on the board for the All-Stars in that last jam. 4 points for the world. Pass your fist on the line in that jamming position. Pass your fist looking for some room in the back of that pack. Right out into the front. Ricochet on their first jam in this game, grabbing that lead jam position for the All-Stars. A lot of ping-ponging and pinballing going around right there. Ricochet getting smacked down a few times, managing to get back up real quickly. Pass your fist in the back of that pack. Ricochet in that lead jam position. Looks like calling off that jam. 3 points on the board on that last pass for the All-Stars. 21-4. Raptor getting right out in front, grabbing that lead jam position for the All-Stars. Bubblegum Butch, though, not far behind for the world, getting out on that initial pass. Auntie Faye on the line for the All-Stars. Killer Queen on the line for the world. Killer Queen running right out in front, grabbing that lead jam position. Auntie Faye right behind, though. That is a fast-moving pack and 2 fast-moving jammers there. Looks like a failure to reform being issued to one of the world's jammers. Auntie Faye, though, out in front. of that pack lead, trying to get through that last wall of white. Killer Queen managing to slip around at the top. Auntie Faye right through the middle of that pack. Fish slap on the line for the All Stars. Pacifist on the line for the World. Fish slap, trying to run that pack right out to the top. Looks like managing to do so, just pushing that pack since past its extendability. Pacifist making out of that pack there on that initial. Fish slap in the back, catching a little bit of slack there and calling it off. Ricochet on the line for the All-Stars. Bubblegum Butch on the line for the World. Ricochet pushing out to the front of that pack. If you ever wondered what junior roller derby can do for you, Ricochet is a shining example. Ricochet just freshly turned 18 and immediately is out there jamming for the All-Stars and getting that lead jam position nonetheless. Showing just how much that commitment and that training can really take your skating to the next level. We got some serious, awesome skills to see here from Ricochet, just starting to blossom right before us. Bubblegum Butch in the penalty box. Ricochet managing to call it off just before Bubblegum was released from the penalty box. That means they're going to start this next jam off unopposed in a slight power jam situation. Just seconds, though, left on Bubblegum's time. Raptor getting out in front, grabbing that lead jam position. Flying into the back of that pack. Raptor trying to keep it on the inside, manages to do so. Picking up 4 points in that pass. Bubblegum Butch out of that penalty box. Managing to get around on the outside of that wall there. In corner 3. Raptor with some serious speed we see here. Side of gravy on the line for the All-Stars there. Raptor still on there. Sorry. Raptor in that lead jam position there for the All-Stars, calling off that jam right at the end. Auntie Faye on the line for the All Stars. Auntie running right up through the middle, but getting knocked to that inside line. Killer Queen for the world, getting pushed around in that back wall, having not much luck getting through. Right there as we see that pack start to split up. Aftermath headed to the penalty box for the All Stars. Killer Queen managing to completely take that pack by surprise and push out to the front, grab that lead jam position. Switch cameras. The left trigger. Yeah. Fish slap on the line for the All Stars, grabbing that lead jam position right off that whistle, basically. Passion Fist looking for some room there to get through. Just getting ping-ponged around by Aftermath. Fleetwood Smack and Killer B in the back. The World with a star pass there to Grandpa. Bubblegum Butch there in that lead jam position, but having some difficulty in the back of that pack. Ricochet pushing hard on that front wall. Rolling Raptor on the line for the All Stars. Killer Queen on the line for the World. Killer Queen just head down, trying to push that wall of black out of the way. Raptor diving left and right, just trying to find an opening that's easier to get through there at the front of that pack. Killer Queen getting recycled on that inside wall. Killer having to reset back again. Rolling Raptor in the penalty box, making this a power jam situation for the World. Killer having to reset one more time. Speed Cat grabbing that star pass there for the world, trying to get a nice clean line through the middle. Managed to just slip right around that outside wall, right to the inside, right around Aftermath for the All Stars. Rolling Raptor still in that penalty box there. Auntie Faye on the line for the All-Stars, grabbing that lead jam position. Pacifist stuck in a wall there on that inside line as both packs just getting piled right up on. Pacifist finding some room, managing to get out on that initial. Auntie Faye is not looking to hand out any points today and shuts that jam right down.
You okay? You want me to take over? Lay off. It's mine now.
Fish Lap out in front, grabbing that lead jam position for the All-Stars. Bubblegum Butch not far behind, finding a nice inside line to get past that wall of black. Fish Lap finding a brick wall there on that inside wall. Slambo Brighton Cherry just shutting that door down. Fish Lap forced to call it off.
How you doing, man? Good. I heard they were like, somebody was like, no, he wants to take photos and not NSO. And I was like, good. I want to take photos and not NSO. I said I'm happy to help wherever I can. No, I'm happy for you to take photos and not NSO.
Ricochet on the line for the All-Stars. Ricochet gonna be a force to reckon with. But Speed Cat says, nah, you got some years to put down under those skates first, getting that lead jam position for the world. Ricochet, though, not having it. Coming out of that pack right behind, trying to keep the pressure up on Speed Cat on that initial pass. Managing to do it. Ricochet coming out with Ford as well, right behind Speed Cat. Speed Cat in that lead jam position, still getting knocked to that inside wall, calling it off. Picking up 3 points there. We are on an official timeout. Team timeout. We're not sure yet. We will find out shortly and let you know. But in the meantime, we are on a timeout.
Official or team on it? Thank you.
We are on an official timeout. And with that said, this is a great time to say thanks to our officials and volunteers that come and help make roller derby a reality. Because without all of these officials, quite literally, we would just be skating in a circle. There would be no rules. There would be nobody to tell you you're playing too rough, and there'd be really nobody to keep score. So there'd be even more fights at the end of the whole thing. But please put your hands together and say a big thanks to our NSOs, our officials, and our volunteers. We love them, like we seriously do. The things we give them, secretly, lots of money. No, I'm kidding. We wish. If you have lots of money you would like to donate to us as a nonprofit organization, please feel free to get on our website today and just go down, scroll down just a little bit and click that donate button, and you can put some of your hard-earned cash in our pocket. But you know what? We will do good things with it. We help support our community throughout the entire Gorge, and we make sure that everybody gets a chance to be involved in roller derby in some way, shape, or form.
Just click it.
Rolling Raptor on the line for the All Stars. Pacifist on the line for the world. Raptor grabbing that lead jam position. Pacifist out in front, making that initial pass. Both packs of blockers getting stuck over there between corner 1 and 2. Just trying to cut it up for each other's jammers, slowing each other down. But Raptor picking up a penalty in that last pass. Pacifist on a power jam situation there. Raptor out of the penalty box, trying to make some headway. Pacifist getting ping-ponged around through corner 3 and 4 as we see here. Face Spounder, side of Gravy, and Aftermath, and Fleetwood Smack putting together that pack for the All-Stars. Solid jam from the world there, putting 8 points on the board. All-Stars 7, 57-83. We got to commend the world over here. They are whooping it. We told you earlier that this was an A team thrown together, and they are proving it as none of these skaters really practice together.
You okay? Why?
Auntie Faye on the line for the All-Stars. Bubblegum Butch on the line for the world. Auntie Faye managing to push up through the top and grab that lead jam position. Machete trying to shut a door as hard as they could there at the top of that pack. Killer B as well. Bubblegum Butch getting caught in their net, not able to get through that wall. Auntie Faye managing to take advantage of the distraction going on with all that action, picking 4 points up, getting a little weave and bob around the top of Slambo Bright there. We got a star pass to Cherry F-Bomb for the world right in the middle of that pack there. We see that pivot with that stripe on their head, trying to push up through the pack. That is a star pass, humans. That is what a star pass looks like. That is the motivation that turns a pivot from a blocker into an aggressive jammer. Auntie Faye, though, making 4 more points on that last pass. 91 there for the All-Stars so far. Cherry F-Bomb capitalizing on that star pass, putting 4 points on the board for the world. Cherry F-Bomb there. Fish slap on the line for the All-Stars. Killer Queen on the line for the world. Starting this jam off, fish slap, trying to just run right up through the middle of that pack. Manages to do so with a nice little spin move at the end, tying a bow on it. Killer Queen, though, coming out of that pack, not far behind, going to keep the pressure on Fish. That pack starting to pick up speed there, trying to anticipate both jammers coming in. Fish slap, calling it off, not trying to give away any points here. Coming into that second half, All-Stars trying to get as much leeway as they can on that scoreboard. 4:30 left on the clock. This is raw, ladies. We got it going full. Right up into the top, Ricochet with a nice little hop over, looks like Slambo Bright potentially. Killer Queen not far behind.
I don't think that's Killer. That's not Killer.
Speed Cat there for the world. We have an official timeout being called. We are on an official timeout. We are just getting our scoreboard handled. Sometimes when those jammers are flying around and our amazing pack refs are out there throwing those gang signs up, they're not really gang signs. They're just telling you how many points were given to the jammer, despite it looking like they are very, very good at throwing up gang signs. And then they're getting like callback gang signs from the scoreboard table. It's a whole thing. There is a coalition. They are gang members. They're all gang members. The gang that they're in, sorry, we just totally 180 this whole situation. I'm going to bust the egg open for you. They're in the officials gang. That's what it is. If you mess with any of them, they come out of nowhere. And what's amazing is that if you choose to fight with one in public, they don't even have to be wearing their stripes. Their stripes magically appear, and then more of them appear as well. At this point, we can only assume that our officials have like found a safe somewhere and they are currently cracking that safe for the secrets on how to be better officials in roller derby, like be the best officials. It's like a superpower they're gonna get. And it looks like they got it situated. We were just commenting on how we'd had no timeouts, but now we get 4 timeouts at once.
Yeah, it's the longest timeout ever. And we're right back where we should have been originally.
Starting his jam off, back from that extraneous timeout. Rolling Raptor on the line for the All-Stars. Cherry F-Bomb on the line for the world. Cherry looking for some room on that inside wall. Scully knocks face, Spounder. Killer Bee not letting that door be open enough. That rolling pivot wall there from the All-Stars always proving to be so efficient. And we see it deployed by other teams as well, but there we go. We see Cherry F-Bomb managing to push it out farther than it can go. All-Stars had to let Cherry go. Cherry managing to pick up that initial Raptor, getting knocked out. Already had that lead jam position instead of trying to return back in behind that pack, just calling it off. Sometimes that can be a little bit confusing to people, but if a jammer is on the track, they get knocked off, and they are in that lead jam position, they can call the jam off without returning to the track. Sometimes this is a better option than trying to return into a very uneventful or bad position for that jammer to return back to the track in. Killer Queen on the line for the world. Auntie Faye on the line for the All-Stars.
I think it's funny that you say all this crazy shit and then you drop like fact bombs so they have to keep listening. Oh wait, that sounded real.
Yeah, it is real. .140 left in this first half. 112 for the All-Stars, 65 for the world. We got to commend the world here, though. Again, one more time, we mentioned earlier, this is a pickup team that was formed in the last week, and they are showing that good skating pays off, and it doesn't matter who your team is. If you're all good skaters and you're all good with teamwork, you are a good team skater. You got a good team. Bubblegum Butch grabbing that lead jam position for the world. Fish Slap trying to catch that distance up as we see Fish Slap putting those feet down. Bubblegum Butch calling off the jam, getting knocked to that inside line right as Fish Slap coming to the back of that pack. 25 seconds left on the clock. Ricochet on the line for the All-Stars. Slambo Bright on the line for the world. Ricochet getting that lead jam position. London Rumbler grabbing that star pass, though, from Slambo. London able to get through on that initial picking right through that pack there, picking up 4 points. Ricochet in the back for the All Stars, finding a solid wall there to try to get around from Cherry F-Bomb. Ricochet just getting ran through on that outside line there, trying to get through corner 1 and 2, not having nearly as much luck on that as that initial pass. Again, though, Ricochet in that lead jam position, picking up 4 points there, not putting it down, not giving up too easy. London Rumbler picking up 4 more. Ricochet calling it off, taking that jam to an end and taking us right into halftime. Make some noise for both of these teams so far. 124 All-Stars, 74 to World. This would be a great time now to go get yourself one of our amazing beers from one of our awesome sponsors out in the lobby, or some of the amazing food we have here today. If you haven't picked yourself up a raffle ticket, go do that now. You can get raffle tickets right out in the lobby at the merch table during halftime. And the raffle will be during the second halftime in the second game, with Blood and Gorge facing off Rose City Roller Records. Woo! We are ready for some roller derbies. Humans, make some noise. $124 for the All-Stars, $74 for the world. Starting this jam off, we got Killer Queen for the world, Fish Slap for the All-Stars. Ricochet on the line for the All-Stars. Bubblegum on the line. Bubblegum Butch on the line for the world. Ricochet breaking out of that pack there. Bubblegum getting knocked down to that inside line, picking up 3 points there. 2 points for the All-Stars. Rolling Raptor on the line for the All-Stars. Pacifist on the line for the world. Raptor looking for some room. Big hit there up at the top of that pack. Raptor getting stopped on that inside line, but not without taking down. Looks like Slambo. Seeing that pack be real spread out there. Raptor getting let go there, grabbing that lead jam position. Actually, it looks like picking up a penalty. Not sure what it was. Could have been a track cut there. Grandpa grabbing that star pass for the world. Grandpa getting out, having to run away from Fleetwood Smack as Fleetwood was trying to reel them back into that pack. Raptor standing there in the penalty box. Gonna end this power jam situation for the world, but Grandpa one more time through that pack with that star on the helmet, able to capitalize on that star pass from earlier. Grandpa through that inside line one more time. Not finding a whole lot of resistance. Slambo Bright with a big reset there on Raptor. Raptor out of that penalty box from that penalty just earlier. Raptor trying to push up to the top, not able to get through before that jam getting called out. 9 points on the board for the world there, 4 for the All Stars. We are on an official timeout. Back from that official timeout. Auntie Faye on the line for the Blood and Gorge. Speed Cat on the line for the world. Speed Cat busting out of that pack with some serious speed there. Auntie Faye finding a hole to run through, getting through the top of it, picking up those points and calling it off with a quick strike and retreat. Doesn't look like the world getting into that back of that pack quick enough. Fish slap on the line for the All Stars with that lead jam position. London Rumbler grabbing that star pass just a little bit ago. Now donning the star on their head. Fish slap getting a little bit of grief as they went around the top of that pack. No problem for them though. Ricochet on the line for the All Stars. Pacifist on the line for the world. Ricochet getting down front, grabbing that lead jam position. Ricochet picking up 4 points on that last pass. Pacifist still looking for some room in the middle of that pack there. Face Pounder just not having it. Killer Bee getting in there with a nice little assist. Scolding Knox says, get out of my house, yo. Ricochet up against a wall of white there, trying to find any little hole through to get in. Pacifist looks like they're getting recycled one more time there behind Scolding Knox. That star in their hand, just trying to give themselves a little bit of an edge. As a blocker, sometimes when you see a helmet without a star on it, you're not initially thinking that that could be the jammer, especially if it's just out of the corner of your eye and you're trying to get reorientated on the track. Star pass there to Grandpa. Grandpa pushing up through on getting that initial. Ricochet calling it off. Raptor on the line for the All-Stars. Speedcat for the world. Raptor getting down front, grabbing that lead jam position. Speedcat finding a nice hole on that inside line, able to rebound from a big hit there. Getting through on that initial, keeping the pressure up on Raptor. Raptor calling it off after picking up 4. Just a little over 10 minutes into this second half. 158 All-Stars, 86 DeWorld. All-Stars definitely slowing that point gathering down. DeWorld having trouble getting back up there, though. Bubblegum Butch in the back for DeWorld. Auntie Faye looks like picking up a penalty right off that whistle. Headed to the penalty box. That's going to be a power jam situation for DeWorld. Bubblegum also picking up a track cut. This is going to be a 1-in, 1-out situation. You can only have one jammer in the penalty box at a time. So we're going to see Bubblegum sit. Auntie Faye is released. And Bubblegum will only serve the same amount of time that Auntie Faye just served. Auntie Faye able to take full advantage. We're going to see this jam go the full 2 minutes as neither jammer is eligible for lead jam position. Sorry. Auntie Faye getting knocked to that inside line. Bubblegum Butch managing to get around on that outside wall, find that opening. Looks like Bubblegum's initial pass there. 3 points on the board, though, for Auntie Faye. Auntie trying to get her nice line on that outside wall, but getting knocked to that outside edge just a bit too far. London Rebler heading to the penalty box in that jamming position, in that pivot position for DeWorld. Killer Queen getting a nice inside turn there. Little pirouette. Getting right out in front, grabbing that lead jam position. Fish slap coming out not far behind, getting that initial pass through. Killer through on that first scoring pass, picking up 4 points. Killer calling it off, not wanting to get fish slap any points there. Again, to World on a mission to get back up in that competitive scoring range. 65 is not a whole lot. That's only like 3 or 4 really strong jams from De World. Speed Cat getting out in front, grabbing that lead jam position. Ricochet not far out from behind, grabbing that initial pass there. Going to try to keep the pressure on. Rolling Raptor on the line for the All-Stars. Bubblegum Butch grabbing that lead jam position for De World. Raptor with a quick star off the helmet as soon as Bubblegum got that lead jam position. Bubblegum with a nice inside line hop, picking up 4 points and calling off the jam. That was basically a picture-perfect inside line hop to jam call off. That would be like a multi-combo trick if we were playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Yeah. You could have extended it with a manual forever. And then you would have done some reverts in the manuals and you could just keep going. Yeah, sorry. Totally sidetracked here. Anyways, killer combo there. We are in a team timeout for the All-Stars. That's the end of the team timeout. Auntie Faye on the line there for the All-Stars. Killer Queen on the line for De World. Auntie Faye getting out in front, managing to grab that lead jam position. A star pass there to Grandpa. Grandpa now jamming for De World. And it looks like Auntie Faye calling it off there. Picking up 2 points. 169 All-Stars, 104 De World. 13:50 left on the clock. Fish slap on the line in this next jam for the All-Stars. Speed Cat for De World. Speed Cat and Fish Slap coming into that pack like neck to neck. Fish Slap just grabbing that lead jam position, but it looks like Speed Cat picked up a penalty. Not sure what it was. But Speed Cat in that jamming position for the world is going to make this a power jam situation for about the next 15 seconds for Fish Slap. Fish Slap on that third scoring pass there. Speed Cat coming out of the penalty box, a little one-on-one jammer action we see there. Speed Cat turning around right into a wall of all-stars, though. Fish Slap finding a solid wall there in the front. Trying to shove some people just out of the way. Fish Slap not having it. Got knocked to that inside line and is disappointed. Needless to say, they are going to get up and try again because they are a roller derby jammer and they never give up. In fact, recently I hired a roller derby jammer to get rid of the weeds in my yard because they just keep coming back. Well, I haven't had a single weed since they came and pulled the weeds out. They're all gone. They don't give up. It was a little awkward, though, a few times when the jammer was just there at like 8 in the morning weeding my garden 2 months after they said they were done. Again, I told you they don't give up. Ricochet out in front, grabbing that lead jam position for the All-Stars. Bubblegum Butch for the world. In the back, getting pinballed around a little bit, but finds a nice big opening in the middle, able to squeeze right through that bad boy. Ricochet out in front, picking up 4 points in that last pass, in that lead jam position. Bubblegum just right up to the back of that pack, picking up 1 point before Ricochet has a chance to end the whole thing. Killer Queen on the line for the world. Rolling Raptor on the line for the All-Stars. Raptor out in front, grabbing that lead jam position, avoiding a nice little trip situation. Killer Queen with that star in the hand. Smashing through the middle of that pack, but getting recycled on the inside line. Raptor just skating right around Slambo Bright, trying to hold on, but not able to. Raptor going for a little rough and tumble there in the middle of that pack. I didn't know ninja training had began. Ninja, though, right back out onto the track. Raptor is one. Coming in from that hit, recycling to the back and calling that jam off. 6 points on the board for the All-Stars. We are in an official timeout. Auntie Faye on that line for the All-Stars, getting a nice quick pivot around the backside of that pack to the inside wall. Cherry F-bomb, though, stuck in the muck there. Auntie Faye picking up 4 points, a nice quick outside wall pass. So much damage going on in the middle of that pack for Cherry F-bomb. Cherry F-bomb handing that star pass off to Slam Shady. All-Stars just trying to catch. They are doing a great job of it so far. Slam getting recycled way back there behind Face Pounder. Ooh, Auntie Faye with a nice big inside line, taking home 4 more points for the All-Stars. Four more points there on the board for Auntie Faye in that pass. But in the back here, Slam Shady ping-ponging around, trying to find any kind of opening. Killer Bee, side of gravy, Face Pounder showing that rotating wall in the back. It is the largest triangle on the floor and the smallest wedge all at the same time. Hard to get past there, as we've seen Slam Shady just struggling against the back of that wall. Yeah, that guy's sitting right next to it. Go handle it. Fish slap on the line for the All-Stars. Hopping right out in front, grabbing that lead jam position. Nice quick and early. Fish slap picking up 4 more points. Right around the outside. Fish slap for 4 more. Pacifist grabbing that star pass earlier. Fish slap, though, in the penalty box for the All-Stars, making this a power jam situation for Pacifist. To that inside line. Aftermath with a nice big hit there. Pacifist not able to get through. We're definitely seeing that energy slow way down there. That's what happens when you run a full 2. It is a long fight. We see a big hug there at the end because roller derby's all about love. Did you know that? You could put that on your fridge later. Just write it on a little piece of paper and put it up there with a magnet. Roller derby equals love. Killer Queen on the line for the world. Fish slap out of the penalty box, had a little stay over in the penalty box, it looks like. Back out on the line, though, for the All-Stars. Mostly refreshed. Killer Queen, though, not having it in that lead jam position, calling off the jam. Official timeout. Speed Cat on the line for the World, picking up that lead jam position. Ricochet on the line for the All-Stars. Big hit on that inside wall. Machete Machad with a smashing hit to Speed Cat. Some big hits there. Speed Cat calling it off. 3 points on the board for the World. 111 to 230. Bubblegum Butch with a star pass there to Slambo Bright. Slambo leaving like a rocket from that pack. Rolling Raptor in that lead jam position, though, picking up 4 points already. And going to call that one off, not letting Slambo take any of that momentum. .120 left in this second half here. Ani Faye on the line for the All-Stars. Killer Queen on the line for the World. Looks like Killer might have picked up a penalty there. Killer got a holding hands violation. Too much love. That was the too much love penalty. Ani Faye in that lead jam position, still looking for some room in the middle of that pack. All-Stars pack, all he has to do is create chaos. Ani calling it off. 15 seconds on the clock. We potentially are going to see one last jam. Humans, make some noise. Make some noise for the World. They've been putting it down all evening. They have not held up one bit. And it looks like we have it. We did not hit it. We thought there was a timeout potentially going to be called there, but it was not. Make some noise for both of our teams. All-Stars 241, the World 111. Make some noise for your Gorge Roller Derby All Stars! Get out there, get trackside, get a high five! And please make some noise for the world. Skating for the world tonight. 102 Killer Queen, 115 Spiderface, 117 Speed Cat, 1221 Slambo Bright, number 13 Mountain Mel, number 30 Bubblegum Butch, number 42 London Rumbler, number 422 Polly Chunkin, number 5 Pacifist, number 513 Cobra, number 602 Slam Shady, number 76 Grandpa, number 1337 Fornicator, number 8 Flower de Lethal, and number 777 Cherry F-Bomb. That is the world, the pickup team, and they killed it tonight. Make some noise one more time for them, please. Don't go anywhere. We will have MVP awards shortly, and then we'll have Blood and Gorge versus Rose City Roller Wreckers. Number 215, Gnarly Ray Jepson. Number 3125, Bruce Clues. Number 36, Destroyeveski. Number 439, Anxiety Attack. Number 005, Smother Goose. Number 505, Barbie Screamhouse. Number 314, Skeeter. Number 63, Regretty Spaghetti. Number 805, Crying Wolf. Number 83, Macy DC. Number 247, Lunatics. Make some noise for the Rose City Rollers Wreckers. Humans, make some noise for your Gorge Roller Derby, Blood and Gorge. Skating tonight for Blood and Gorge. Number 1, Gold Rush. Number 1330, Rascal. Number 1802, Barbell. Number 2912, Scolding Knox. Number 327, Crybaby. Number 369, Fish Slap. Number 432, Tantrum. Number 44, Malicious B. Number B52, J-Bomb. Number 57, Choppin' Broccoli. Number 64, Rock'em Sock'em. Number 67, Ricochet. Number 716, Side of Gravy. Number 81, OT Rex. Number 811, Rolling Raptor. And number 86, Maytag. Make some noise for your Blood and Gorge. All right, we are about to kick off this jam. On the line for Blood and Gorge, OT Rex. On the line for Wreckers, Barbie Screamhouse. Barbie Screamhouse looks like picking up a track cut. Thought they had that lead jam position. OT Rexo now defaulting to that lead jam position as they came out of that pack clean. Power jam situation again for Blood and Gorge here in this first jam. OT Rex getting a nice little cut back and forth, able to keep it. Picking up 4 points there. OT Rex getting recycled back there. Roe v. Wade throwing a nice solid wall there against OT Rex. Barbie Screamhouse getting through that initial pass after getting out of the penalty box. OT Rex calling off the jam after picking up 4. Nice strong play from Blood and Gorge in that first jam. We are at official timeout already. Looks like we might have an issue with something. We will find out. I've been there. It's spectacular. We liked it so much that we only got a sponsorship so we would spend less money there. That was actually the deal. We were drinking the coffee anyways, so if they could sponsor us, we get a discount. You understand the situation here. Side of Gravy getting that lead jam position for Blood and Gorge. Not far behind, though, Regretty Spaghetti. Side of Gravy getting right up through the middle of that pack, picking up 4 points and calling it off. Crying Wolf on the line for the Wreckers. J-Bomb on the line for Blood and Gorge. Crying Wolf getting out in front, grabbing that lead jam position. Looks like might have had a little bit of face contact in there as we saw them. Just making sure their nose wasn't. Looks like we got a track cut right there at the back of that. Not sure if a penalty is being issued. Yes, it is. Looks like Smother Goose picking up a penalty there for the Wreckers. And we got a timeout being called. Official. As we saw the Wreckers coach out there running something out to one of the skaters, not able to get back though. Now got to hang out in the middle of that track. Super fun. Skeeter on the line for the Wreckers, OT Rex for Blood and Gorge. Skeeter grabbing that lead jam position, getting through on the initial, and just coming through with a scoring pass there with 4 points and calling off the jam. Barbie Screamhouse for the Wreckers in the back of that pack, pushing hard. Scoldy Knox, though, out in front for the Blood and Gorge, grabbing that lead jam position. 3 points on the board in that last jam from Scolding Ox. Side of gravy on the line for Blood and Gorge. Regretti Spaghetti jamming for Wreckers. Side of gravy grabbing that lead jam position. Fish slap headed to the penalty box there. 4 points on the board for Side of gravy though in that last pass. Saida with a hard push up on that inside line. Regretti Spaghetti coming around the back of that pack, making that initial. Saida calling it off. Roe v. Wade getting out in front. Not grabbing that jammer, lead jammer position though. They had a penalty going through the pack, but it was a no pass, no penalty situation. OT managing to get out in front with that lead jammer position not being claimed yet. Get out in front, calling it off. J-Bomb on the line for Blood and Gorge, getting that lead jam. Skeeter in the back there for the Wreckers, looking for some room. Looks like J-Bomb getting reset just a little bit back into that corner one. Skeeter getting through on that initial. Barbie's Scream House. Clearly the Barbie house door was left wide open because Barbie's Scream House just ran right up in there. Barbie calling it off. Looks like picking up 2 points and not giving away any to Blood and Gorge in that jam. Nice strong play from the Wreckers. 12 on the board for the Wreckers. 25 for Blood and Gorge. Wreckers definitely got that defense dialed in just a bit more as we're seeing those points less and less to Blood and Gorge. Regretti Spaghetti on the line for the Wreckers, getting out in front, grabbing that lead jam position. Scolding Knox in that pivot position, getting out of that penalty box is going to take that Blood and Gorge pack back to full. OT Rexo in the middle of that pack, jamming for Blood and Gorge, getting pinballed around just a bit. OT looking for a spot right up the middle, almost has it, and then gets knocked to that inside line. Regretti Spaghetti with 4 on the board here. A nice strong push to the middle of that pack as OT Rex causing all sorts of chaos there in the middle. Big Dick Genergy going down in the middle of that pack there, coming right into corner 3. Crying Wolf for the Wreckers. Getting recycled back. Looks like actually might have picked up a penalty there. J-Bomb managed to get through on that initial, grabbing that lead jam position for Blood and Gorge in a power jam situation as well. J-Bomb going to try to capitalize on the situation as much as possible. That pack moving really quick. J-Bomb trying to actually use that to their advantage. It's a lot harder to play blocking defense when you have so much momentum. Crying Wolf back out on the track after that penalty. J-Bomb able to pick up 4 on that last pass. Crying Wolf through on their initial. J-Bomb in the middle of that pack, calling it off, trying not to give any points to Crying Wolf. It looks like they did so successfully, picking up 3 of their own, 7 on the board for Blood and Gorge. Side of Gravy on the line for Blood and Gorge. Skeeter on the line for the Wreckers. Skeeter looking for some room on that outside wall. Getting pinned right into the middle there. As we see that whole pack just moving like one big conglomerate. Both jammers able to push themselves out, though. Side of Gravy getting out in front with that lead jam position. Skeeter breaking out not far behind them. So Side of Gravy to that inside line, looking and picking them up. 4 points on the board for Blood and Gorge. 2 points on the board for the Wreckers. 36-18, just a little under halfway through this first half. Barbie Screamhouse on the line for the Wreckers. OT Rex on the line for Blood and Gorge. Rock'em Sock'em in the penalty box there for Blood and Gorge. Wreckers giving away one of their own as well. Smother Goose in the penalty box there for the Wreckers. Barbie Screamhouse, though, in that lead jam position, pushing right in the middle of that pack as hard as they can. Lunatics there trying to get up in the middle of that and help out. Manages to do so. Barbie Screamhouse getting out of that pack. Lunatics just shoving OT Rex right off the track. That looks like a force to be reckoned with there. Maytag picking up a multiplayer block, though, for Blood and Gorge coming into the end of that jam. 8 points on the board, though, for the Wreckers. Nice strong play there. Scoldinox on the line for Blood and Gorge. Regretty Spaghetti on the line for the Wreckers. Big push there through the middle. Goldenox picking up, I believe, a forearm penalty. Regretty Spaghetti, though, taking full advantage, getting that lead jam position for the Wreckers in a power jam situation. J-Bomb trying to deliver some defense there at the bottom of that pack. Regretty Spaghetti looking for an inside line. Scoldinox out of the penalty box there after serving that penalty just from the beginning of this jam. I'm seeing hard push there from Scoldy to get up through the top on that initial pass. Regretty Spaghetti in that lead jam position, just shutting the whole thing down. We got a timeout being called by Blood and Gorge. Team timeout by Blood and Gorge. Coming out of that whistle side of Grady, picking up that lead jam position, almost losing it, having to do a nice little spin to keep up on their feet. Grabbing that lead jam position. Crying Wolf not far behind him for the Wreckers. A lot of movement coming right off the track there in the corner three. Side of Gravy calling it off, though. Wreckers sneaking right back up 30 on the board to 36, Blood and Gorge. Nice, quick, and short there. Neither jammer wanted to get or give. Scully catching that star pass there. Barbie Screamhouse still in that lead jam position. Calling it off. Picking up 4 nice fresh points there from the point store. The point store is adjacent to some stores you might be familiar with. You know, stores that use their blatant name to describe what they sell. Like the bed store. The dollar store used to fit that one, but now it's the $1.25 store. Side of Gravy on the line for Blood and Gorge. Regretty Spaghetti on the line for the Wreckers. Side of Gravy grabbing that lead jam position. Side of looking for some room on that inside line. Regretty Spaghetti getting recycled just a bit back. We're seeing that star come off the helmet. Big hit there. Side of Gravy going to that inside line and finding a Wreckers blocker ready to catch them. Real spread out there. Looks like a no-pack situation. Side of Gravy still in that lead jam position. 12 points on the board. Sida is just depending on their blockers to do a good job of stopping. But now is Gnarly Ray Jepsen after catching that star pass we saw happen there for the Wreckers. After that initial pass happened, Side of Gravy calling it off, putting 20 points on the board. Make some noise for Side of Gravy. That was almost a full 2-minute run there. Full bore. Crying Wolf getting out in front, had that lead jam position, picks up 4 and calls it off. 1 point there for Blood and Gorge. 6:35 in this first half left on the period clock. 57-38. Looks like we might have an official timeout. Maybe not. OT Rex on the line for Blood and Gorge. Skeeter on the line for the Wreckers. OT getting recycled back there. Skeeter grabbing that lead jam position for the Wreckers. Skeeter in that lead jam position, picking up what looks like a track cut there. That is going to turn this into the full 2-minute jam and a power jam situation for OT Rex. OT Rex with a star pass to Rascal. Rascal picking up that energy there. Skeeter out of the penalty box and in that power jam situation Blood and Gorge was in earlier. Rascal going to try to capitalize on this star pass situation. Skeeter once again picking up another track cut just on the outside of corner 2 and just ever so slightly. Taking that jam the full 2. Four points on the board for the Wreckers. Don't forget to join us for the official after party at River City Saloon downtown the Dalles as well. Crybaby grabbing that lead jam position for Blood and Gorge. 3:20 left on the clock here in this first half. Raptor picking up a penalty for Blood and Gorge. But Crybaby out there in that lead jam position picking up 4 points. Skeeter out of that penalty box earlier, picking up another track cut. That is 3 track cuts. Crybaby calling that jam off, picking up 5 points. Side of Gravy on the line for Blood and Gorge. Skeeter on the line for the Wreckers. Trying to get a nice inside line run. Side of Gravy, though, getting taken right into that inside wall. 4 points, though, on the board. Side of Gravy able to slip through. Skeeter out of that penalty box, slipping right around on the outside of corner 3 and 4 like they weren't even there. Some serious speed there from Skeeter. Skeeter looking for any points there before that jam gets called off by Side of Gravy. Not able to capitalize, but Barbie Screamhouse going to be out on the line for the Wreckers. Crybaby on the line for Blood and Gorge. Barbie Screamhouse getting out in front, grabbing that lead jam position for the Wreckers. Crybaby pouncing around just a little bit on that inside line with the star in the hand, trying to get as much help as they can. That wall at the top, though, of Wreckers proven to be a difficult one to get through. Barbie Screamhouse trying to work around the back of Fish Slap and not having much luck there in that first attempt. Nice, strong play there. Crybaby putting 4 points on in that last pass. 73-50 as we go into halftime. Make some noise for both of our teams here. If you bought raffle tickets, you're going to want to make sure you're here at about the last 7 minutes of intermission. Feel free to go get yourself some food or a beverage, because right after halftime, we have last call, so you might want to get yourself out there right now if you want to get another one in your hand. Start the second half here. Blood and Gorge 73, Wreckers 50. Wreckers have been ticking back at it this whole time, and they are definitely going to try to come out here fighting at the top. All right, humans, we are ready for the second half of Blood and Gorge versus Wreckers. All right, here we are, second half, OT Rex on the line for Blood and Gorge. Barbie Screamhouse on the line for Wreckers. Barbie Screamhouse getting out in front, grabbing that lead jam position. OT Rex getting knocked down on the inside line. Looks like potentially picking up a penalty as well. A track cut. That is going to be a power jam situation. For Barbie Screamhouse here. Barbie looking for some room on that outside wall. Not able to capitalize, getting recycled back in. Fish slap, Rascal. Chopping broccoli. Holding a nice solid wall there for Blood and Gorge. We got this pack all spread out here as OT Rex coming back in, and that pack trying to cycle out from the Wreckers. Lunatics and Roe v. Wade there in the back for the Wreckers, playing a nice solid wall. Lunatics going down at the very end there. Barbie Screamhouse picking up 4 points, though, for the Wreckers, 58-73. Regretti Spaghetti on the line for the Wreckers. Crybaby on the line for Blood and Gorge.
Sometimes you have to like.
Crying Wolf on the line for the Wreckers. Side of gravy for Blood and Gorge. Side of gravy popping out of that pack on that whistle, grabbing that lead jam position. Ricochet going down in the middle. They're trying to play some defense for Blood and Gorge. Crying Wolf, though, pushing around the outside, managing to cut that door wide open. Little jammer on jammer action here. Crying Wolf not able to keep it together. Side of gravy with a hot little pack number in there, picking up 8 points in that jam. Nice jammer on jammer action and a nice pass through the pack there for Blood and Gorge, 82-58. Wreckers still looking for that edge here. Skeeter grabbing that lead jam position for the Wreckers. Skeeter picking up 4 points on that last one. Sliding through the back end of that pack. OT Rex with the star in the hand, trying to get through any way they can. We see a star pass there to Rascal for Blood and Gorge. Looks like it was not a legal star pass, not sure here. Roe v. Wade there for the Wreckers, picking up that lead jam position nice and early. Looking to do a nice big power jam situation here. I can see it. OT Rex still in the penalty box there, serving that penalty that it looks like slightly confusing. Thought was being issued to Rascal at the end, though. It happened before OT Rex tried to pass that star. Looks like Roe v. Wade picking up a penalty there. Not sure if it was a contact penalty or a track cut quite yet. OT Rex through the pack with the star in the hand. making that initial pass coming off the bench. We see that Wreckers wall getting nice and set up. Right out of the penalty box, wasting no time getting around that Blood and Gorge wall. Roll v. Wade coming out hard and fast. OT Rex able to take advantage a little bit of the confusion there from the top of that pack. After a nice hard push through, picking through on a one scoring pass there. Roll v. Wade though with 8 points on the board already. Roll v. Wade with 12 points on the board in that last jam. Nice play back there. Only 12-point difference now between Wreckers and Blood and Gorge. Just over 21 minutes in this this second half here. Anybody's game so far. Regretti Spaghetti getting out in front for the Wreckers, grabbing that lead jam position. Regretti Spaghetti through for 4. Crybaby trying to find some room on the side of that pack. Looks like Regretti Spaghetti calling the end of that jam. 4 points, though, getting issued there to both teams. Sida Gravy grabbing that lead jam position for Blood and Gorge. We're seeing a star pass there to Anxiety Attack already by the Wreckers. Sida Gravy through for 4 more. 8 on the board so far. Anxiety Attack still trying to capitalize on that star pass from earlier. Sida Gravy around that outside wall. 16 points on the board so far. 45 left on the clock. Looks like Anxiety Attack still in the middle of that pack. Sida Gravy right up to the last moment, then picking up a penalty. That is going to be a stay-over situation. Anxiety Attack getting out on that initial pass finally after a real hard push. This is going to start in a power jam situation for Wreckers as they take a timeout. Team timeout for the Wreckers. Skeeter for the Wreckers, trying to get around at the top, getting just a little too much speed there at the top of that pack and running out of the track on corner 2 there. Coming back in though, able to keep that lead jam momentum going. Side of Gravy trying to keep it in the track, getting knocked out, having to recycle way back. Skeeter in the penalty box. That is going to be a power jam situation. Skeeter, not a lot of penalties to spare at this point either. Side of Gravy through with a no pass, no penalty. But this jam's going to run the full 2. 4 points on the board for Side of Gravy. Skeeter out of the penalty box. Back engaging with that wall from Blood and Gorge. Chopping Broccoli. Rock'em, sock'em. Scoldy knocks there in the back, trying to hold them together as much as they can. Rock'em, sock'em with a nice big recycle. Eight points, or 10 points on the board there for Blood and Gorge, 5 for the Wreckers. Barbie Screamhouse for the Wreckers. Getting caught in the back wall there on that whistle blow, but OT Rex finding an opening. Able to grab that lead jam position for Blood and Gorge. Nice star pass there to Smother Goose, be able to capitalize, get out through that pack. Big hit there to OT Rex. Looks like we have an official timeout being called here. Crybaby on the line for Blood and Gorge. Regretty Spaghetti for the Wreckers. Regretty Spaghetti getting knocked to that inside line. Crybaby not having an easier time on that outside wall either. That Wreckers defense is proving to be stubborn. Crybaby able to push around that outside wall, grabbing that lead jam position. Star pass there to Gnarly Ray Jepson by the Wreckers. Crybaby calling it off after losing quite a bit of steam. That defense from the Wreckers has just toughened up. And we are on an official timeout momentarily. Side of Gravy out in front, grabbing that lead jam position. Moving way too fast, those jammers running out of steam there with that one. Skeeter in the back there, looking for a nice way to get up to the top of that pack. Just keeps getting pinballed around in the middle, but then finds an opening on that inside wall. Grabbing that lead jam position. OT Rex able to leave that corner there as that pack not able to catch her. Skeeter picking up 4 and calling it off. Barbie Screamhouse looking for some room on that inside line, but Crybaby managing to get out in front and grab that lead jam position for Blood and Gorge. Looking for any opening they can here coming in on this first pass. We can see that Wreckers wall is ready to catch them. Crybaby going down there in the middle, losing that momentum, calling that jam off, picking up 4 points. Side of Gravy getting through after that initial, picking up that lead jam position here. Star pass there to Gnarly Ray Jepsen. Just under 9 minutes left in this second half. A nice 4 points there from Side of Gravy, managing to keep it in the track, coming around on the outside of corner 3. Calling it off there, not want to give away any more points than they already have. We got a timeout being called by the Wreckers. OT Rex grabbing that lead jam position for Blood and Gorge. Crying Wolf. What a big hit there to that outside wall. Rock'em sock'em. Laying none of it to the side. Wanting to take it all to the town. Got an official review being called there by the Wreckers. We'll find out what this is all about shortly. Crybaby getting out in front, grabbing that lead jam position for Blood and Gorge. Skeeter breaking out of that pack, not far behind on that initial pass for the Wreckers. Crybaby with a big hit down on the outside of corner 3 and 4. Make some noise for our EMTs, please. They keep us safe. They make sure that we can play roller derby and that if we do fall down, like somebody might have just done, that we're safe when we get back up. .646 on the clock, 141 Blood and Gorge, 98 Wreckers. This is still very, very obtainable for the Wreckers. All they have to do is find that edge and hold it. That is exactly what Blood and Gorge is trying to defer right now from happening. Roe v. Wade headed to the penalty box in that pivot position for Wreckers. Side of Gravy picking up that lead jam position on that first pass there. Coming through, Barbie Screamhouse getting through on that initial. Side of Gravy calling it off after picking up 4 points. Again, we can see this is being played real tight and real close. Blood and Gorge is not willing to risk a runaway here. OT Rex on the line for Blood and Gorge. Regretty Spaghetti for the Wreckers. OT getting caught in the middle of that pack, but Regretty Spaghetti slipping out on the top, grabbing that lead jam position. .3 points on the board there for Regretty Spaghetti. Breaking over that century mark, 101 for the Wreckers, 145 Blood and Gorge. Four and a half minutes left here. Wreckers looking for that edge to kind of hopefully carry them some points, but Scoldy Knox managing to get out in front before Crying Wolf grab that lead jam position. Blood and Gorge going to remain in control of this jam as long as Scoldy Knox doesn't pick up a penalty. Scoldy getting through the top of that pack, but not able to cleanly get all the way through. And calling off the jam. Not wanting to give away any points again. Side of gravy out there for Blood and Gorge, grabbing that lead jam position. Skeeter in the back, looking for some room, not looking for penalties. Destroyevsky grabbing that star pass there at the end of that jam. 1 point on the board for the Wreckers, 4 points on the board for Blood and Gorge. 2:50 on the clock. Barbie Screamhouse grabbing that lead jam position for the Wreckers. J-Bomb looking for some room in the back after getting through on that initial pass. 4 points on the board for Barbie Screamhouse here. "36-second difference here, or 34-second difference between the jam clock and the period clock. $1:45 on the period clock. 8 points on the board in that last jam from Barbie Screamhouse for the Wreckers. 110 to 155. Regretti Spaghetti out there for the Wreckers. OT Rex for Blood and Gorge. OT Rex grabbing that lead jam position. $55 on the clock. Mother Goose grabbing that star pass for the Wreckers. OT Rex calling it. Not giving away any points there, picking up 4 of their own on that last pass, 8 altogether. Looks like we got a timeout being called by the Wreckers. 25 seconds left. Crybaby on the line for Blood and Gorge. Crying Wolf on the line for the Wreckers. Crybaby getting out front, grabbing that lead jam position. 15 seconds on the period clock. Right up on that inside line after a nice hard push there. Crybaby picking up 4 points. Crying Wolf skating right around the outside with that star in the hand, getting that initial pass. Period clock has run out. Crybaby going down, trying to call it off at the same time. Make some noise for both of our teams here. Blood and Gorge, 169. Rose City Roller Wreckers, 110. Make some noise for your Gorge Roller Derby, Blood and Gorge. And please make some noise for the Wreckers. Don't go anywhere. We're going to do our MVP nominations in just a moment. But if you'd like to come and join us for more roller derby shenanigans, you can come and join us downtown at River City Saloon on 3rd Street for the official after party. And in just a moment here, we will have our official MVP nominations as well. We usually do MVP too, so they might be ready to do MVP. Just heads up. You don't have to. We are just waiting for them to choose their MVPs, but we want to say a big thank you to all of you for coming out tonight. A big thanks to our volunteers. We seriously couldn't do it without the volunteers, without the referees, the NSOs. Needless to say, we literally, legally cannot play Derby without the EMTs here as well. They have to be here. We can't play without them.